Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra today. I'm here with my good friend Cheryl Todd, and she is the owner of azfirearms.com out here in Avondale. And I have a controversial topic today, so I just thought I'd drop you right in the middle of grand controversy.
I love it.
And that is this. I mean, more Americans buying guns than ever before, and we're in a working gun store today, so you might see people actually selling guns and stuff around us. There's a lot of gun stores in America.
Yes.
And I see a lot of people get a lot of bad advice in gun stores.
Yes.
And so what I want to ask Cheryl, and just let her run, I haven't asked her this question yet, so we're going to hear the answer together for the first time. What makes for a great gun store? I think this is one of them, so I want to know what you think makes it awesome.
Well, I so appreciate that, John, and for just even being here and showcasing what we do and how we do it. Even though you are here kind of like, you know, bagging on a few guns and that sort of thing.
Right? A little roasting.
It is, and that's the thing is that, you know, everybody has their preference. And even with gun stores, you'll have your preference, right? But to help you, if you're out there just not really connected to a gun store yet, some things to look for is really, are they in the sales business or are they in the service business? Because all of our staff members have the hearts of teachers, and that is what we hire for. And we actually like to say we've never sold a gun ever in the 15 years we've been here. We say that we have helped people to discover the tool that is best for them. And here's the real kicker, right? Because we can't keep the lights on unless we're transacting.
Yeah,
right?
you got to make money to keep the business open.
True, but sometimes what we help people discover is that a gun isn't really right for them at this particular place in their life. And that's a win too.
So what a lot of people don't know is that I actually was in retail management for about 9 years. Before I joined the military, after I got out of the military, about 9 years in retail management. And that's something that it doesn't matter what you're selling, whether you're selling guns or video games or clothes, whatever. If your heart is, what's my biggest profit margin and how do I maximize this transaction, then you're going to fleece people. But if you say, no, I have a value to add to people, then you can do well as well. You'll make money.
Absolutely.
And then help people. So how do I know then, if I walk into a gun store, whether the employees are into my best interest or their profit margins?
So they will lead with questions rather than telling you, sizing you up from their own personal experience, sizing you up and saying, well, here's what you need, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, it happens to us little ladies, right?
Pink it and shrink it.
Here's what you need, little ladies,
Let me show
right?
you this J-frame revolver. And you go, it's the worst possible choice. Anyways.
That's right. So your staff members, the people that you encounter in the store, they will lead with questions. They will ask you what you know, what you think, what you're coming in expecting. And sometimes the answer from the customer is, honestly, I'm at the very, very beginning.
Yeah, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, I have no possible idea. And then we lead with the next question. Well, what's your purpose? What would you like to use this gun for? Where do you plan to store it? What is your comfort level around firearms? What has your previous training been with firearms?
Do you own any guns already?
Do you own any guns already? These are the kinds of questions that will click in your mind to help you see that they're concerned with you. They are other focused, not about themselves. Another thing, and this isn't usually published in anywhere, so I don't know how you would really discover this, but there's no commission-based sales in our store. And that is a very, very important idea, because if our salespeople have any self-driven reason to make a sale, then they're not going to have their focus right. They might overlook a straw purchase. They might overlook, which we might have to explain what a straw purchase is.
So again, a straw purchase is when you buy a gun for somebody who is not able to buy that firearm themselves. So if you purchase a firearm and fill out the Form 4473, and that's a federal check, federal form, and you're buying it for someone else, but if an employee has a financial interest in it, they might go, but I still need to make that money, and so I'm gonna overlook these things. Whereas if they don't, well, then maybe they're more apt to do the right thing.
Right. And so our only goal for transacting, because we are a relational business, we are not a transactional business. We do have to transact, like we said, to keep the lights on, keep the staff paid. But we truly are trying to serve you the best you can. We'll be seeing about getting you training right? See where your current level of training is, and even if you feel like you have a lot of training, we might still challenge you a little bit more to just go ahead and take that trainer's business card.
Really, go get a class.
Yeah, for the, maybe not for you, but for, the wife or something, for some other reason, because training is everything. The safer we all are, the better the tool fits you, your lifestyle, the palm of your hand, however, the safer everyone is going to be, and the safer we are, the better we are, and it gives the other side that hates our gun rights, that hates the tools themselves, that hates those of us that use the tools, gives them less opportunity to interact at all in that arena.
Yeah. So I really think what I'm hearing from you, Cheryl, is that the biggest thing I'm looking for as a consumer going into a gun store, it's really the same thing I'd be looking for if I went into a car dealership. It's, are they trying to sell me a product, or are they looking for what are my needs and how can they meet them today?
Absolutely.
And there are great gun stores all over the country, and there are terrible gun stores all over the country. And really, I think that's the difference. Are they interested in their making a sale, or are they interested in helping you? Now, I'm going to add something here. That, okay, so A, I want you to know, Cheryl and her husband Danny are my friends, and this is a killer gun store. We have no financial relationship whatsoever. I'm not sponsored by them. We know none of that stuff. It's just a cool gun store who let me come in and check their guns out, which is really fun.
And thank you so much for doing that.
So I'm not saying we have any of those kinds of relationships, but recognize that there are some unscrupulous practices that you want to avoid, right? And seeing, okay, how do I look for a good one? And once you find one, this is the biggest thing. I know people, they come into the gun store and they get all this knowledge, and then they go, yeah, but you're 20 bucks more expensive than Bud's Gun Shop online. Or, I can get it on Gun Broker for $10 less. And my answer always is, did you get $20 worth of education and worth of service? Because if I buy a gun off Bud's, and don't get me wrong, I've seen some crazy deals on there that you just can't pass up sometimes, right? But having somebody who cares about you, a place that you can go to, that you go, hey, they're not going to fleece me. Having somebody that I can send a new purchaser to, that I know they're going to get well taken care of, that's well worth 20 bucks. Now, recognize a place like this. You got this big place. We're going to do some videos and show you around the shop a little bit. It costs a ton of money to keep the doors open. You think about it, if I got 15 employees who are on staff in a given day, I might have $1,000 a day in simple staff salary costs, let alone workman's comp, let alone turning the lights on, let alone paying the insurance, let alone the liability insurance on stuff. And guess what? The owner got to eat too. And so all those things combined, you go, well, wait a minute, me taking that 20 bucks takes it out of somebody serving me and turns them into somebody that has to push for the bottom line. So my suggestion to you, I'm not telling you to spend a bunch more money than you normally would, and there are gun shops out there that will charge outside the market prices. But don't look at that first one and go, oh, okay, well, are you going to price match this thing here that's 20 bucks less? Because the honest truth is, they probably can't. Most of these guns, you get a gun here that maybe has a 10% margin on it, and there's just not enough money there to go, well, I'm going to drop you another 30 bucks or 40 bucks or something like that. And if you want to know why a lot of FFLs now are charging a lot of money for transfers, it's because guys like Bud's Gun Shop, they're willing to do 10,000 transactions today and make 20 bucks on each one. But I'd rather you be around a bunch of people like this that actually know what they're talking about. So invest in your local gun store. Get around the one who is interested in you and what you need. And when you find a great one like this, keep coming back here and spending money.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.